Thanks, everybody, for joining today on this live stream with Christina from DECIEM. We're going to probably running for about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how many questions there are. So feel free to answer any questions. It's going to be a very interactive live stream. We're going to get straight into it and sharing how DECIEM are supporting their colleagues through these very interesting times for all of us. My name's Josh. I'm the head of sales at Thrive. And I'll pass over to Christina to let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christina Tiritakis, Global Director of Learning and Development at DECIEM.
Perfect. Thanks, Christina.
Thank you.
I guess before we get into the platform and kind of sharing how you're supporting employees, I guess maybe if you just give a high level into DECIEM, who you are, and I guess the impact that the current situation has had on DECIEM.
Absolutely. So I proudly work for DECIEM, the Abnormal Beauty Company, and we make incredible beauty products. We've got 1,000 employees almost globally, and our population is really split into our office team, which makes up about a third, our retail team out in the field, which also makes up about a third, and our production, because of course we produce all of our products in-house. So really changing times in the last week or so to figure out how to cater to these three different employee populations and uncharted territory when it comes to work home experiences.
And obviously a big part of your organization is retail, and
Yes.
You made the decision to actually close the stores around the world to protect and support your employees. So how did you kind of react to that and so quickly become more digital to support your colleagues remotely?
Well, I think having a learning platform that integrates both social and learning in one place was really important for us, because it allows us to come up with solutions that are really holistic and singular rather than sending out so many competing messages. So straight away we thought about really a three-tiered approach for retail and for our entire population. The first is, how can we leverage our platform to inform our staff and inform them in a way that's far more human and engaging than just sending out sort of a dry email. The second is, how can we use our platform to keep our population interacting, connecting, because this is completely new to lose your not only your social aspect at work, but in your community and also in your home life, to really be isolated. So thinking about great engagement activities to keep people's spirits up and to keep the community strong. And then the third is, how could we leverage the platform for learning while you're at home, not necessarily feeling productive and not necessarily feeling positive. So, information, interaction, and learning all together has been our approach.
Absolutely. Well, it's great that you have these kind of technology in place to allow you to be so agile in supporting colleagues when situations like this occur. Well, look, thanks for joining today. I think let's get straight into the platform and share with everybody how you're driving campaigns and content through to support your colleagues.
Sure.
I'm sharing my screen, so hopefully everybody can see it. So maybe you want to kickstart and kind of tell me some of the key things that you've been working on.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing you can see is we flipped to a stay connected and well campaign straight away. Having an easy LXP that allows you to flip a campaign literally within 5 minutes is integral, because we're constantly tweaking the engagement and making sure that the messaging really connects with our people. We partnered with our brand team and actually with our employees to come up with some really fun engagement challenges. And we've got, I think, maybe 60 or 70 different ideas. I'm happy to share them with anybody after or pass them on to you if everyone's looking for great challenges. This week, we started the week with a Monday challenge around sharing 3 things you're grateful for. We were mindful that people really need to stay positive during this time and fill themselves with hope and gratitude. It was amazing, literally straight away, dozens and dozens of posts coming through about things we're grateful for and spreading that love and positivity. Tuesday, we wanted to keep it fun and light, knowing that diversity and engagement is important so that everybody can find something they feel comfortable sharing. So we shared our pets of DECIEM, and there's just a ton of adorable images of pets. There's puppies sleeping in beds beside toilet paper and, really cute stuff. And even people who don't have pets wanted to post things like their television or their prized possession just to connect. Wednesday, we did virtual lunches, and that was really cool because we were able to leverage the events feature, create an event, post it in the highlight section really quickly, and have people join in to these virtual lunches where you could kind of get a tour of people's homes. Nicola, our CEO, was in these lunches. You could chat with her, and the conversations were really just organic. How are people doing? You could see what people were wearing while they're working from home. And we ran different ones across the globe so that everybody could dial in. Some people actually joined multiples because they wanted to get to know people over in Australia or people out in the UK. Yesterday we did post your weird and wacky work from home meals, and you'll see when we look at the user driven content, there's like just a ton of adorable examples of what people are eating. I shared my biscotti lunch, which is super healthy, but just again getting insight in a really human way into who our community is and keeping them interacting and feeling positive. And today it's share your work from home setup. So I don't have a desk. This is my work from home setup. So I'll post a photo, and we're already seeing really cute pictures of people's desks and their pets and their photos of their loved ones and really fun things like that.
And how did you come up with these ideas then? Did you all kind of get together as a team and brainstorm some quick ideas and then, well, post it on the platform? Is that what you did?
We started a virtual brainstorm, so it really became a snowball. I think it's really important when you're the guardian of a learning platform that you are as inclusive and as collaborative as possible, because the more ideas and the more diversity and thought, the better. So we partnered with our global director of brand, who's got brilliant ideas, Dion, around engagement and also what's really fun for a DECIEM team member. And we really pulled everyone in from different departments. So other ideas that we've got over the weekend, we're going to do a little challenge to share some of the resources that people have found. I know there's free concerts that people are posting. There's flute lessons and meditations and all kinds of amazing resources online. So why not get our entire population to share the yoga classes they've found or different things like that? And we've got lots of things. Next week, we're going to be doing a guided yoga morning stretch around the globe on Monday, and we'll have people post their yogi look. We're going to be doing introduce your plants to us, show us your art, a daily walk, a tea break. We're going to do a meme challenge, your worst work from home outfits. Can you find this item around the house challenge? And, everybody posts that item. If I was the DECIEM product, I would be. Share your local park with us. One day we'll do a food supply drive for the elderly. We love Get Abstracts. We want to do a few book clubs with Get Abstract as well, where we select a relevant book and then everybody can share their comments. What else are we going to do? Netflix club as well. One day we'll do a DECIEM suggestion box. Next week, we're going to have some daily lessons. So I think everybody's got secret talents and hobbies. One of our team members loves to bake. I'm sure many do, but she'll do a baking lesson on Wednesday. One of the guys on our education team, he loves to make kombucha. So we'll have him do a little lesson. Yeah. And then we're actually going to throw it to the people and ask them to sign up. Who else wants to do a guided lesson? And you can just join into these virtual events where you feel like you're still connected and part of the community. Yeah. So lots of ideas, and I'm again happy to share them with you guys to share with everybody after.
So you've got a lot of content in case we're working remote for a while, so you're full of ideas, which is good, I guess. To support the call.
And they've come from everybody, so we know there's going to be something for everybody. So maybe you don't have a pet, but we'll catch you the next day.
Well, should we get into some examples of the content that you've designed to share with people?
Absolutely.
Where do you want to start? Should we start with that kind of leadership content?
Yeah, you can see straight away we've got some really incredible messages from our amazing CEO, Nicola. Something that we say at DECIEM is beauty is human. I like to say email is not human. So it's one thing to push out an email and not have that human touch, but it's another thing to hear from your leader authentically with, the compassion and emotion and love that comes through in only a human way. So she posted this video just a day and a half ago to give everybody an update, and literally within an hour or two, it already had 300 views. And if you look at some of the comments and the reaction, just the gratitude for the comfort that she'd shared with everybody, the hope, the gratitude for us, continuing to keep the business strong and coming together as a team. without even sending a release, which we often do on Thrive, but even without that, literally, I think we had, 100 comments or so just within a few hours of employees really feeling inspired and a little less fearful and a little more hopeful thanks to that.
And she's sharing quite a lot of content, it seems, as well. Not just her, but other leaders as well. But there's like new content here, which was posted just an hour ago as well, like more content coming through. So I guess it's that drumbeat of content connecting the employees together.
Hi everyone, thought you might be bored of my...
I just paused the audio there. But again, just under an hour ago and people are already connecting with that content, which is really powerful.
Well, and seeing your CEO with her beautiful daughter and being able to see into her home and having her share daily updates is so empowering and helps everybody feel connected in this time. It's interesting because in this time of isolation, we're actually seeing more into each other's world because we're looking for ways to come together even more. Yesterday, she invited everyone to share some love with our production and logistics colleagues. These comments are so inspiring. We're actually going to post them and print them out in our facilities as well, so that everybody can read them and really take in that gratitude and get that inspiration.
Well, I guess as a retailer now, your production team making your products are kind of like the lifeline keeping the business together, right? Whilst your retail stores are shut. So that's really powerful.
And that's exactly what Nicholas shared in just such a beautiful human way. So to hear that in real time and in an instant, whether it's from her, whether it's our CSO, our head of retail has posted updates, basically having that leadership in real time, kind of hour over hour, be able to update in this very fluid situation where things are changing daily, it is really, really helpful because we want to be able to update people as quickly as possible. And none of us have a lot of time right now as we're dealing with so many things. So it needs to be simple. So just being able to post that quick video, get it up in the highlights, send out a simple release, although we're getting tons of views even without the releases, but just getting it to the people in a really human way has been essential for us to really retain that sense of community and that internal comms that is vital at this time.
That's great to hear. And I guess you've taken a lot of retail colleagues away from their natural working environment and supporting them remotely now. So do you want to talk around some of the kind of support tools that you've designed for those retail colleagues that are working in this new environment?
Absolutely. So one of the first things we did was a learn from home support tool. And that was basically a self-directed tool. We know we've got people that are at home. We're always educating people on how to use the Discover page and how to find content that aligns with their learning goals, whether it's in product and brand, whether it's in professional development. But we just wanted to put it together in one cohesive place. So we've created this document that really tells people how they can learn from home, the different pillars that they can choose from. And then we put together a daily learning agenda. So in their morning touch bases with their managers, they can commit to 2 or 3 learning goals, and also a learning log so that they can track those achievements as well. We're not a compliance culture at DECIEM, so for us, everything is about opt-in. Every view is self-directed and is because the people really want to stay engaged. So these are all tools that we've messaged as they're here to help support you during this time. And you work with your manager and work through those learning goals. But these are ways that L&D is here to support you and keep you productive.
That's great. And I guess you're also probably combining that with more online sessions as well to actually bringing them together as well. So alongside the kind of self-directed learning, are you delivering kind of events and that type of thing as well?
I have to tell you, I'm such a huge fan of the Thrive Events feature because, you know, sometimes you get a calendar invite in Google and it's just another boring meeting and maybe you're not so quick to join. We put together, you know, in real time, working fast, live classroom sessions. Monday night, we said, okay, or Monday, we've got to do this to keep our retail team engaged. We decided to run sessions Tuesday to Friday in almost like a re-onboarding for every retail employee. And we ran them morning and afternoon, just pushing these out through the events feature Monday afternoon. We had hundreds of views for these events and RSVPs as well. So all week long, we've had almost half of our employee population, our retail population, join these classes. Now we're running them next week in Australia, so we'll capture some more there. But to literally send out an invite for an event on a Monday and have 150 people join in on the Tuesday is extraordinary. Something else we did was we created a little virtual guest book, just using the questions feature on Thrive, which is a great way to get comments going. And people could sign and share their experiences and share how much they loved the training, share how maybe they'd never got to meet retail employees in a different city or a different country before. And now we have 100 people in a 3.5-hour session who are interacting and chatting and commenting and sending each other love and support. And I'm certain that without using the events feature and leveraging it, we wouldn't have been able to get that turnout so quickly and get that communication through.
And the type of training that you'll be deploying through the events features, will it be everything from like product training through to just general knowledge that you might want to give them as well? Is it a combination?
So this week we focused on our product and brand training. So everything from skincare to our products. Today we're focusing on customer service and the customer experience. Next week we're also looking at more workshop style, because we want to be able to be more fluid and speak to things like just answering general questions that our team members have about, tricky customer scenarios. We're also going to be running some effective meetings trainings and some to support the changing nature of this time. So more about stress management, agility, resilience in the workplace. We thought, because we needed to turn this around quickly, let's start with product and brand and customer experience, and then we'll move on to personal and professional development.
Amazing. And then you're also doing some non-learning based ones as well. You've got, I can see there, I've just seen that, you've got the live stream stretch as well. So you kind of bringing to get people together as well, to have a bit of fun through the platform as well, and kind of get ready for the working week.
I love this feature because you can easily sign up, and you can sign up based on your time zone. So we use the events feature also for our virtual lunches, and we partnered with WPO for a webinar that they were running on managing stress in this difficult time. And again, these are all happening within a 24-hour turnaround time, some of these things. So to post these on Thrive, like we just posted the morning stretch today, we've already got 57 views. You would have seen with the classroom training, we had 265 views on that event just within a day. So really being able to reach our population really quickly is so important. We know our people are going on the platform very regularly, so we know when we put something in the highlights, they're going to see it, but just capturing them and getting that engagement at that time really has never been easier, because we know people are using the platform for those updates, for that communication, and to know where to go for support and for learning.
Okay. So that's events. And I guess, when the crisis hit and you needed to quickly give your employees content, I guess, how did you kind of not just create your own content, but tap into resources that exist around the world and that type of thing, and then structure those easily for people?
We decided to use the channels on Thrive. So we love the Discover page, and we know that that's such a great place to curate and aggregate content. So one thing that we did was we just created a Managing Through COVID channel. I never thought I would do that, but that was something we said very quickly. It doesn't sound so sexy, but we can't take the guesswork out of it. Let's just come up with a simple tag. And here we leverage some of the amazing resources that Thrive has for off-the-shelf content, digital skills around using email effectively, for example, or being productive. The work from home channel that you've opened up is where we leveraged a lot of the content that we were finding through other content curation companies. I think so many companies have offered free resources at this time around mindfulness, stress management, and resilience. And I know most of our population doesn't get those emails, but we do, because we're in the learning community. So all of our team really sifting through this content and figuring out what we could add here to help people find resources and support. We reached out to our executive leadership team and said, if you've got anything, send it through. We'll also load it in this channel as well. And you can see here in our health and safety updates, we've got the updates and resources coming through specifically for COVID-19 around working from home, around washing your hands. We've got the sneeze sleeve up there that you guys have put together that we love, and that's very educational, but also light, which is nice at this time to sort of try to keep it positive, but still informative.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you got a lot of content, and you're just curating that as well, using, I guess, curation tools inside the platform. When you find some new content, you're just grabbing that, sharing it into different channels, and then notifying people.
Yes. So Anders Pink has been great for that as well, and Get Abstract, looking at the content that they have. We pushed a lot of new content yesterday in Anders Pink, knowing that there's some really great resources out there. Also, just to keep the news feed really full and diverse, because we know people are leveraging the platform so much. You can actually see we've got one of our amazing IT guys. He put together some great videos in how to use Hangouts and how to use Google Calendar, knowing that some of our retail population might still be learning this. So he put those together really quickly for us as well, just to support during this time. So partnering with those key team members that can also create great resources, asking people to find resources. This weekend's engagement challenge will again be asking everybody at DECIEM to share their resources and to use those specific tags so that we can co-create this learning process, because we're all learning how to navigate this new time.
And how are you kind of how are you getting new ideas from the colleagues as well? Are you kind of running like surveys or feedback loops, that type of thing, to get content that they're dying for to see? Like, how are you doing that?
Yeah, so we've got this sort of running Excel list, and everybody's just dropping ideas into there, so that we can, I don't have it up here, but we've got that shared in our Google so that everybody can add ideas in. We've got quite a few, so we're quite good, but we'll continue to reach out to the people. We have something called Who Wants to Drive Thrive, and it's actually how we get campaign ideas from our global community. And our message is that everybody at DECIEM gets to drive thrive. So we'll use that same approach when it comes to additional content engagement ideas, and just hearing from the people and knowing that leveraging their ideas is going to be the most impactful.
That makes a lot of sense. No, I like that you put in the kind of power in their hands as well to kind of drive the content and the sharing as well. I think that's really cool.
We love how user-driven the platform is, and we believe in a co-created learning experience. And so it's easy to pull everybody in and to really make this platform everybody's.
Like it. Should we jump into the campaign, the Stay Connected campaign that you created? Because I think there's a lot of good examples for other organizations in there. Let me just click in. So is this the kind of first campaign that you've run since you've been fully remote? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess it's running until the 1st of April, maybe a little longer, who knows?
We know how easy it is to edit campaigns on Thrive, so I'm sure we'll stay agile and see.
So this campaign feed here, is that content that you've just pinned to the top essentially?
Yeah, so the campaign content is anything that we've sort of posted with the campaign tag, which is Connect. And a lot of that you'll see in the Managing Through COVID channel. The user-driven is where you see a lot of the really fun and playful engagement challenges. And honestly, they just go on and on and on. So yesterday, as I mentioned, it was share your weirdest and wackiest work from home meals.
Yeah.
And, you know, these really are learning moments, because we're getting to know our population in a completely new way. It's keeping them feeling that they have a path into the organization in a time that is completely new and scary for them. And it's giving them that sense of purpose and connection. And for everybody, just a chance to get to see everyone's personality in a different way, or, you know, how they live at home. We're seeing their families, we're seeing their pets, we're seeing their work environments at home. So it's really creating a lot of community and a lot of connection.
So you got hundreds of pieces of content here.
It's unbelievable. And actually, you know, on Monday, our first challenge was the gratitude challenge, but we already had people posting the Thursday challenge. Like, they really wanted to stay as engaged as possible. And they thought, well, I'll do all the challenges, which is so heartwarming, because we know that that people are responding and they're really feeling engaged.
Yeah, it's people sharing their
It's so cute. Yeah.
That's
and
nice.
You know, when else would we see our people in this light? It's amazing to me how globally it's in this time of isolation that we're all coming together, and I think building the strongest sense of community we've ever had. And the real exciting thing for us has been being able to offer this piece, which is this platform, which has always been important for social landscape. But in this time where, again, we've lost our social connections professionally within our community, and for some of us with our families where we're completely isolated, this is really one of the only ways that we can stay connected through this technology. So it's been really rewarding to be able to offer this. I think a lot of people are thinking about what's business critical in the company or in any organization, and so many things are, but we know that keeping our people connected and giving them a human experience is business critical. So to be able to offer that and to have them engage daily has been like really, really heartwarming for us and super rewarding.
And how is this changing engagement? Naturally, I guess it's going to go up because you've got more people at home on devices, that type of thing. But for your retail colleagues in particular, how is it impacting the engagement and usage?
I have to say, you know, we've always had very strong engagement. We really campaigned for learning, and we really make Thrive as inclusive as possible. So we've always been very proud of our analytics, but in the last week, especially since we've changed to work from home, we're seeing 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times the engagement on the platform.
Wow.
So whereas before an employee might go on it once or twice a day because they're in a retail store and they still have a sense of community, now they don't have that. So they're going on the platform, you know, 4 or 6 times a day, just like they might their Instagram or their Facebook, to really stay connected. Yesterday, we had 87% of our entire employee population on the platform, and I suspect the only people that weren't on it were out in production. So you can see how engaged everybody is. Like, they're really, really leveraging it. To have 87% of such a large population active really shows us that people are turning to this as their resource to have a lifeline into the company at this time.
Well, it's scary to think, like, if you didn't have a lot of technology at your disposal, what this would look like now for employees, right? Because you shut your stores, and then what would you have had, I guess, to support the colleagues? It's quite a scary thought, I guess, for that.
Yeah, and you know, as I said, email is not human. It's not the same, you know, and phone calls are important, and connecting any way we can, but there's something to be said about seeing people and hearing them, and also giving people the option to engage how they want to. Do they want to post an article?
Yeah.
Do they want to share a video? Are they comfortable adding a photo? Are they comfortable sharing a pet or their lunch or their gratitude? I think the diversity and the daily challenges has been really helpful because it's given everybody a way in, and they can take baby steps or they can jump all the way in based on their comfort level.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to pause because we've got quite a few questions. Okay, so the first question from Rosemary is, how do you capture the names of people who are attending events?
The names of people that were attending the events, we actually had their area managers capture that separately because we were working so quickly. So we did set up the virtual guest book more for kind of positivity and like sharing love, but we put that kind of operational piece on the area managers just for the tracking component.
Mm-hmm. My face, so I thought I'd bring Mila on board today's video.
Nicola's just started talking.
Just say a quick
Yes, I guess you can track attendance of people who attended and then monitor that from a reporting.
Yeah. And to be honest, because some of these things we did so quickly, so for example, we had posted the event for Tuesday, midday Monday, and we're trying to push that out to everybody, but knowing our turnaround time was very quick and maybe not everybody signed up for that day with the event, we just wanted to keep track of that separately. So having those area managers capture that additionally just helps with all of the tracking piece. The turnout's been extraordinary, though. We've got a class happening right now, and I think there's about 100 people in the morning session. So it's just been remarkable.
Got another question from Andrew, which is the content being filtered through the admin before it's being posted into the platform?
User-driven content? No.
I suspect it would be user-generated, yeah.
No, you know, something that's great on Thrive is you can flag content that is concerning. We really don't have that happen. Our people are good and they're thoughtful and they're kind and they're loving. So we invite them to post something that is meaningful to them or something that they might think is helpful to somebody else in the employee population. Their experience might not be the same as my experience. So we really believe in a user-generated and user-driven culture, and we do have that one little backup plan just in case, but we seldom sell. I think we've had to use that maybe once, and it really was only because of a sort of compliance thing around skincare that we were a little kind of questionable about. Other than that, the content is usually so incredible that we don't have any issues.
Mm. So people, I guess, can go to this part of the platform here and just share a link, post a question, whatever they want to do, and then it goes into the community.
Yeah, it's great because you can add a link. If you prefer to create an article versus a video, you can type something out. That's how we added our daily challenges. The question feature is how we created our virtual guest book. Just, did you join our virtual training? Leave your comments here. Pathways and e-learnings are obviously for our off-the-shelf content. And then the event we've been using so much to really bring people into these different live human experiences. And I love this because it takes like but a second. So when we're finding this great content that we want to add to our Managing Through COVID channel, it literally just takes a minute to load it in. It's not complicated whatsoever. We keep our tags simple. We've got 3 tags we're really using: working from home, managing through COVID, and connect, and maybe like mental wellness or something like that if it's more around the mental health aspect. But that's it. So you're just loading those tags in and it's up within 30 seconds or so.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for that. We've got another question from Adam, which is, do you have or use the ability to do one-to-one connections or smaller group meetups within the platform instead of larger group events?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the event feature, you can connect to either larger sessions. Like on Monday, we're live streaming our yoga session because we want our entire population to join. But if we wanted a smaller population, we could just use a typical meeting setup or just share with certain populations. So one thing I love about Thrive is the share feature. You can release content to everybody. So you could attach your event and share it with the whole population. But if we just wanted to release something or share something with retail, with Canada, with production, we can use those different audience groups, which allows us to pull in people from smaller groups. So, anybody can share with a smaller population. If you just wanted to meet with 5 members of your team, you could just add those team members' names in to your share as well and pull them in that way. So it can be as small or as large as you want based on how you use the audience feature and the share feature.
So I guess if like a store manager, a retail manager wanted just to host a quick hangout session with their team, they could just, create an event and then share that just to their local team maybe.
Absolutely. And that's a great video. I might actually make that this afternoon. Something I love is I get inspiration everywhere. Through every conversation I have, I see another learning opportunity and a great idea. So thank you for that question, because things that are intuitive to us might not be to somebody who's learning so many new things right now. So we can screen record that in a simple video, put it in the highlights, push it out. And again, it's another quick tutorial for everybody to opt in and use that feature if it fits their needs. Mm-hmm. So look for that, because we'll have that one this afternoon.
Adam says thank you, by the way. So
thank you.
And I just scrolled down there and I just saw it. It came to me. I mean, do you think now that we're living in this time where it's more in isolation, that being on a platform like this and the ability to connect with people is going to help people discover new experts and maybe build new connections inside DECIEM that they might not have seen before? For example, if I work in the retail environment, I might spend more time on the platform now and be able to connect with someone in your HQ in Canada, maybe.
I think 1,000%. I think when the noise falls away in life, we start having space to look for the gifts, and the gifts in a social platform is everybody is a teacher and you can learn something from everybody. And we now have a little bit of space and a lot more of a need, or of an explicit need for that. So not only is learning really taking center stage, but people are seeking it out more and seeking those connections. So 1,000%, we're seeing more shares, more comments, more likes, more posts than ever. And I think for those who might be nervous to take that leap of faith and maybe reach out to somebody that they hadn't connected with before, they're feeling far less of that now, because everyone's engaging so much on the platform and sending love, across functions and across teams.
And I think there's probably quite a few retailers on this live stream now. How obviously this is impacting your customers massively as well, because they're probably used to going to a store and speaking to your experts. What are the initiatives you're doing there to kind of bridge the gap between your experts who are now working at home in isolation and the customers who can't actually have those conversations anymore?
Well, I know we're working hard at an initiative to stay connected to our customers. I don't know when we're going to go live with that, but education is the most important thing for us. We've really transformed how people learn, how our customers learn. Learning is at the heart of what we do. And we don't want our customers to lose that ability to learn about skincare because they can't go into a retail store. So we're using technology and coming up with some solutions for that. And the piece that falls on L&D is to partner with retail and to really quickly be able to train our retail store team members to use technology and to connect with customers in this new way. So we're working on some trainings, and again, we're going to leverage the events feature to roll those out live, and then to create some really simple just-in-time resources, the job aids that they need, the videos that they need to boost their learning and to recall, and we'll very easily put that on our Managing Through COVID channel in a unique sort of sub-channel around retail support. So it just makes it so easy for us to turn around simple tools and to post them as quickly as possible, so people can connect in the live setting, but then go back and re-engage as they need to as well.
That's great. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. We've got another question here, which is, do you have any external content partners which are supporting you on this as well? So I think you mentioned the free resources, but do you have any kind of other libraries that you purchase or anything like that?
We do also work with LinkedIn for content as well, and that's really great because again, we're encouraging people to learn from home, so we want to make sure that they can learn as much as possible. So we've got our LinkedIn channel as well, where we've suggested some content that LinkedIn has offered. We've got our off-the-shelf content from Thrive. We've got our Get Abstract and our Anders Pink, and honestly, I mean, that's a wealth of resources for our team members. And additionally, we're bringing in that free content at this time, but we're full. I mean, there's so much great content out there, and we know we can keep our people busy for quite a while with this content.
Yeah. So what's next in terms of like next week and the week after campaigns then? Have you got kind of have you mapped like a roadmap out now with your teams to kind of what's coming next?
So for next week, we'll continue these learning events, knowing that we turn them around quickly. We want to make sure we can include as much of our population. So we'll continue Tuesday through Friday with these morning and afternoon learning sessions, opening them up to our entire population, knowing that even if you're not in retail and you're working from home as an office team member, you might be feeling a little lonely by next week or just need some inspiration. So we've sent that messaging through, and we'll set those events up today so that everybody can join on Monday and have an opportunity to opt in. All of those sessions work on their own as well as being part of a bigger learning journey. So if people only have time to tune in Thursday, that's okay. That session's going to make sense on its own. But if they do happen to tune in Tuesday through Friday, even better. Monday, we'll do our morning stretch to start the day strong, our post your yoga look challenge just for some positivity and love. And then what do we have up next week? We've got Meet My Plants Tuesday. On Wednesday will be our first daily lesson, which is baking with Alea. I'm very excited about this one. I've been getting all these songs, these playlists that people are creating. And we thought, wouldn't it be fun? Not everybody has Spotify, but wouldn't it be fun if we could sort of get a work from home playlist going? And it's easy to do that on Thrive because you just need to create a unique tag, work from home, WFH playlist. So on Thursday, our challenge will be post your songs through YouTube for this sort of work from home playlist. I love that you can link content on Thrive. So we'll then just link all those pieces of content and we'll have this sort of fun playlist that's fully accessible, even if you don't have Spotify or some of those other technologies. And then Friday is my home gallery, where we'll share our artwork. We have so many creative people in DECIEM. So we actually have a lot of artists who create their own art. And then many of us have pieces that are meaningful to us that we'd love to be able to feature. So that's what's coming for engagement next week and for events. The week after, we'll start rolling out some of the trainings around agility, resilience, some of these workshops. We got to stagger it, of course, because we don't know what's coming or how long it's coming for. But week over week, creating a good plan for the following week and the week after, I think is a good approach for right now. And pooling as many ideas as possible, just knowing we don't know if this is a month, if it's 6 weeks, or if it's going to be longer.
Mm-hmm. we've got some more questions, Christina.
Sure.
Ellie has asked, it sounds like you have some great resources, but how do you avoid overwhelming employees with too much content?
Well, we've made our channels really simple. So, you know, what you see on the homepage here is the highlighted content, and this is really what we want to inform our team members with. The newest content, of course, is what's been pushed through most recently, and that's really at your discretion to shop that, as well as the personalized content. So based on the tags that you would have selected when you joined Thrive, you're going to have your auto curation show up that way. But when you go to the Discover page, you'll see it's quite simple. So if we're on this page, we've got our brand tile, our design tile, HR, some of the different functions that we want to make sure people know exactly where to go to. Then we've got things like our leadership series and our management series, so really clear professional development. This is an amazing series that we actually partnered with Thrive on, featuring 8 weeks of leadership learning with our CEO, Nicola. That's all about our culture and values. When you take a look at either LinkedIn or learning modules by Thrive, it actually be great to click into one of these. You can see we've kept them really simple. So if you go into the Thrive content, you'll see mental wellness, you'll see quality and diversity, you'll see these really simple categories. So just chunking it out in simple frameworks and kind of using a cognitivist approach, I think, is how to keep it really simple. And the other thing we did is we created this Learn from Home resource that taught people how to understand the different learning pillars. So which channels to go to if they want product and brand training, if they want professional development. Another thing that we borrowed just from you at Thrive was we made a content roadmap using just a simple Google Sheets, just like your off-the-shelf content roadmap, that gives people a bird's eye view of how we organize the content. So if you're someone that just likes kind of shopping the content, great. But if you're someone who is a bit more analytical in your thinking and wants that structure and that framework, we've provided that as well. So we've tried to appeal to all of the differentiated learning styles to make sure everybody can figure out how to learn. You had the self-care book up. I love that one. That's a great piece that you guys have provided for us.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of good resource around that, I guess, which is resonating quite nicely a lot with organizations now, given the current situation as well.
I think the other thing is the tagging is so easy that if somebody doesn't want to shop the content, but they just type something in the search, like, you know, managing stress, that's going to populate bits of content that are helpful in that area. Our Discover channel has our recommended content, and then when you use search, all of the content comes through. So there are ways to really to simplify it and to find what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Let me just see if there's any more questions.
Thanks for all the questions, everyone.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Thank you.
Second. Yeah, so there's a question around how you're structuring content in terms of like audiences. So I guess you've got, I don't know your structure internally, but I guess it's like head office, you've got retail, you've got labs. Mm-hmm. Are you kind of segmenting content depending on somebody's?
No. We've got 5 learning pillars at DECIEM. So product and brand, organization, and of course, organizational development is something that's so important to us. And we know that learning the structure of a company, understanding how the different teams contribute to the business is vital. So we really focus on that in our content roadmap and our content strategy. And then we've got customer experience, personal development, and professional development. Although I've kind of merged that into personal development. So that's how we map out our content needs and our content strategy. And if you click back into the Discover page, you may not realize it, but the color coding of our tiles or our channels actually relates to our 5 learning pillars. So green is for all of the organization, whereas the purple is for all of the professional development. The orange is for product and brand. So it's just sort of a subconscious way that we chunk out how we chunk our content, but it's available to everyone. We very much believe in an inclusive learning experience, and everyone should have access to all aspects of development at any time, just in the moment of need. And those moments happen differently for everybody. Right now might be a time that people really want to connect to our brand purpose and fill their hearts up with that good energy and that love. And we can't predict that. We can only teach everyone, get them excited about learning and really campaign for learning, and try to take some of the guesswork out of it so they can find these resources.
And obviously these thumbnails look really engaging. Have you got the skill sets within your team, or do they sit inside a different team at DECIEM, like your marketing team?
Design is really a core value at DECIEM, and we have incredible artists within the company. And I think you're only as strong as your partnerships when you're, the safeguard of a learning platform. So we've got some of our design wizards, as we call them, who created these tiles for us. This is the second iteration. We tried a first version, we liked it, but we thought we could make it even more dynamic and playful. And they created those for us, and they were quite easy to load on the platform. It wasn't time consuming. But we partner with them also in our e-learning to help us create really nice templates. We've got great learning designers, but why not bring in our artists and take it to the next level if we can?
Mm-hmm. Nice. I think I just seeing if there's any more questions. Yeah, I guess last question that's come through is, how are you using data? So are you kind of getting dashboards, reports through around what people are consuming, not consuming, and then building new content based upon the insights you see from a data perspective?
Absolutely. I mean, it's easy to see in real time. When you post a bit of content, you can see how many views it's received. Now, these have just gone up maybe an hour ago. It's easy to see when Nicola posted her video and we got 500 views within a day. Okay, people really want this. Yeah. And so it's easy to be analytical and agile with Thrive, because in real time we can see what's going on. The Thrive analytics are quite simple in terms of seeing daily engagement, if people are connecting more to videos, to articles, to questions. So we leverage that. How much of our population is actively engaged day over day. So we look at all of that. And anytime we push new content, we actually just monitor that within that first month, especially to see how it's being consumed organically, if we have to campaign for it. And that might inform whether we need to send out a release or maybe something educational. We just created these amazing videos around the ordinary, but just because we load them in our ordinary channel, it doesn't mean everybody's going to know. So do we need a campaign? Do we need to send a little release out or a share out around that? It's easy to see with the views how quickly that content is being consumed. And with Thrive's analytics that tells us what formats are being most consumed and sort of day over day what people are using, we're able to stay really agile. I always say it's like Thrive is our baby and we have to feed it hourly. We're always on top of it. We don't check our analytics weekly. We are checking things daily, and really, within that day, doing pulse checks to understand what our population is telling us, and then to really just respond in real time.
Perfect. Well, I think that's all the questions done now. That's nearly an hour. So thanks for sharing all your insights. That's been really helpful. Thanks everybody to your questions as well. We really appreciate them.
Thank you. This has been such a pleasure. So thank you for joining and sending so much love to everyone. And anyone can always email me at kt@deciem if you want to chat and have a one-on-one conversation as well.
And next week, Thrive will be hosting a different customer, Breaks, who are based in the UK, sharing how they're kind of working through this new environment that we're all in as well. And then we're hosting one the following week with Kensington Mortgages, a different customer. So we want to keep sharing these insights from experts like Christina with the wider L&D community, so we can all kind of get through this together. We've also designed a pop-up LMS to really allow organizations to deploy the platform very quickly if they might not have the digital tools like DECIEM do to support their colleagues as well. So please do get in touch if you want to hear more about that. Cool. Well, look, everybody have a good weekend. Look after yourselves, and thanks for joining today.
Thank you.
See you soon.